What's up, world? I'm your host, Pep Talk, for another edition of Low Key News. In today's hip hop news, Suge Knight is making headlines again as an interview that he did on The Art of Dialogue has gone viral. In one of Knight's infamous death row stories, he details an event that took place with music producer Jermaine Dupri, in which Knight claims he slapped Dupri and asked him, "What's bracking with that bread you owe me for Lil Bow Wow?"
How's this happening? So I used to feel that suing people is like snitching on people, which is stupid. That cost me a lot of money by thinking that way, which is not. But anyway, it was up to Jermaine Dupri. I didn't want my motherfucking money from Lil Bow Wow or his mother. I want my bread from Jermaine or Snoop, whoever I catch first. So I got shot. I think that's the time I was shot in Miami. You know, it's bad when you don't remember what time you got shot. Been shot so many times, you know. So I get a ride up to. I used to go to the Subway and Fat Burgers 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, get something to eat, come back to the high rise, and the Lord delivered Jermaine Dupri to me. God did that. Now, I'm not saying in a bad way, because you know I believe in God, but He delivered him to me. So as I see Jermaine Dupri, he see me, his eyes big as a motherfucker. I say, "Hey, what's happening with my bread you owe me for Lil Bow Wow? You know he signed to me, still is." So he started getting around the bush. I said, "Man, I'm gonna tell you one more time. What's bracket?" And it wasn't one of those that somebody gets slapped so hard they slide down the street, but it was something that made you get your attention. But Jermaine Dupri is one of the smartest little motherfuckers around. He called Joe Jackson and put it on speaker. And he tells Joe Jackson, "Help."
Knight claimed that he once put hands on Jermaine Dupri over a financial dispute, but has come to regret his actions. Speaking to the Art of Dialogue from behind bars, the Death Row co-founder claimed that he slapped Dupri in 2005 over money owed involving Bow Wow's contract. "The Lord delivered Jermaine Dupri to me," he said. "As I see Jermaine Dupri, he sees me. His eyes are as big as an MF. I say, 'Hey, what's happening with that bread you owe me for Lil Bow Wow?' You know he signed to me. He still is." He starts beating around the bush, so I say, "I'm going to tell you one more time. What's bracking?" It wasn't one of those where somebody gets slapped so hard they slide down the street, but it was something that made you get your attention.
But Jermaine Dupri is one of the smartest little motherfuckers around. He called Joe Jackson and put it on speaker. And he tells Joe Jackson, "Help. Sugar's right in front of me, man." And Joe didn't know he was on speaker. And Joe, man, "I know Suge. Big Suge is a friend of mine." I said, "What's up, Mr. Jackson?" He started laughing. He started talking. And then Jermaine Dupri was like, "You know, Suge about to get me." And Joe was like, "No, man, me and Suge go way back. Suge, give me your word right now that you're not going to beat the shit out of Jermaine Dupri." And I didn't want to be like, you know, he like, "Man, you know he with Janet." So I said, "All right." I said, "All right" to him. And I said, "Man, give me one of those coffees." He said, "These for me and Jackson. Give me yours then." So I told Jermaine Dupri, I'm not going to beat him up. I had him, you know, get on his knees, and I opened one of the cups of coffee and poured it on top of him. And I could hear Joe Jackson shouting. The phone fell on the ground. It was still on. I actually picked the phone up. And Joe like, "Man, what are you doing to me? You gave me your word." I said, "Man, I only shared some hot coffee with him or something." I said, "But you know what, Joe? I'm out of here, Mr. Jackson. Never talked about it. Never mentioned it. Never played games about it. And, you know, I shouldn't have did that to Jermaine Dupri. Even though he cut though and did something scandalous, I got to leave the little people alone, man. You know, that ain't right."
Knight claims the only reason he didn't beat the shit out of Jermaine Dupri is because the So Def mogul got Joe Jackson, the father of Michael Jackson, and JD's then girlfriend Janet involved. JD's one of the smartest little MFers around. He called Joe Jackson and put him on the speaker. He laughs. He recalled, and he tells Joe Jackson, "Help, Suge is right in front of me." Mad, Joe didn't know he was on speaker and said, "I know Suge. Suge is a friend of mine." I said, "What's up, Mr. Jackson?" And he started laughing. Then Jermaine Dupri was like, "Suge about to get me." Joe was like, "Nah, man. Me and Suge go way back. Suge, give me your word right now that you're not going to beat the shit out of Jermaine Dupri. You know he's with Janet, right?" Yo, this is crazy, man. You can't make this up. Suge was really out here terrorizing these folks, man. It's crazy. And to this day, I just saw Suge do an interview, or not an interview. He called into Vlad TV while Ray J was on the platform.
I know. No.
And man, he's getting on Ray J head, man, talking to him like he can just reach out and still touch Ray J. I mean, are y'all still terrified of Suge Knight out here? This is crazy work, man. I could hear Joe Jackson shouting. He was like, "Man, what are you doing? You gave me your word." He continued. I said, "You know what, Joe, I'm out of here." Mr. Jackson never talked about it, never mentioned it, and never played games about it. This is crazy, man. This is a testament, and I hate to say it, Suge, but this is where you are, my brother. This was definitely an example, a cautionary tale of fumbling the bag. You cannot win with intimidation and violence, man. You got to smooth it out, P. Finesse the game. You know, you can't rule it. It's crazy to see where Puff and Suge is at this present day, man. One tried to diddle him and one tried to fiddle him. You know what I mean? It's crazy work. But until next time, I'm your host, Pep Talk. For Low Key News, stay low key. Peace.